What's up, Waluigi? Trent from Trentendo here. Ever since Gamescom, it feels like the Nintendo Switch 2 hype train has officially left the station, and Nintendo has only made that fire burn ever so brighter as they continue to deny reports of what they showed developers behind closed doors, such as Breath of the Wild running ever so nicely and a PS5 Matrix demo that looked just as good as the PS5 on Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. All of this has just made us wonder more and more though, when will Nintendo actually show us the goods? And when can we expect to get our hands on a Nintendo Switch 2 to be playing Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild in 4K? Now there has been a lot of support for the Switch 2 coming out in the holiday 2024 just in time for Black Friday next year, maybe sometime in September or October. But there has been a bunch of stuff that has happened and there's been some new developments that make me personally think that this may arrive sometime earlier next year and we may be in time just for an announcement in just a few months. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that today and what has happened to make me think that this could be coming sooner than we may anticipate. Before we hop into that though, I have to give a huge shout out and thank you to all of you. Thank you for your support of Trentendo, and because of you, we are officially a YouTube partner. It wouldn't have been possible without the love and support of you guys and hitting that subscribe button, hitting that like button, sharing, joining our live streams, and chatting with us. Because of you, we have been able to accomplish one of our big goals for this channel, and now this is just the beginning. We've got our eyes set on bigger and better things, and we want to continue to bring you guys the latest and greatest in Nintendo news and content. So if you're brand new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video as well, and join us for the ride. We also have our new membership tiers as well, the NES, the SNES, and the N64. Everything will go to continue to support what we're doing here at Trentendo to try to bring you guys the best Nintendo content that we could potentially bring. So once again, thank you so much. And without further ado, let's hop right into this discussion. Now, as I said, there's a couple of things that have popped up recently that make me think that we could potentially see Switch 2 much sooner than we thought, and even have it in our hands sooner than anticipated. Now, if you listen to people like Nate the Hate and some other insiders, they are speculating that we could potentially see Nintendo Switch 2 sometime in the fall of next year, with a release in September, October, or November. That would make an announcement sometime around March, just after the end of Nintendo's fiscal year as they begin the next year for 2024. But like I said, the couple of things that popped up that make me think we could potentially see this maybe announced even in January or February, with a release in the summertime or maybe late spring. So let's talk a little bit more about what these things are. First up, we have to talk about this colored button theory, which suggests we could potentially see Nintendo Switch 2 with colored buttons, paying homage to the Super Famicom, or as we know it over here in the US, the Super Nintendo. If this is the case, my vote is that this will be the Super Nintendo Switch. Just throwing that out there, that would be my vote for the new system. But put that aside, we have a bunch of new games that have come out recently that have this colored button system that make us think that this is what will be on Nintendo Switch 2, as some of these games are being future-proofed for the next generation Nintendo Switch. Looking at Super Mario RPG most recently, we saw a trailer for Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door, which also had these colored buttons, as well as some third-party games that are featuring colored buttons going forward. Now, my thought is I understand that game development takes a long time, that there will be, a lot of delays potentially in things, but why are we seeing this now? Why are we seeing this colored buttons pop up in games so soon? It makes a little bit more sense in Super Mario RPG, as that was a game that was released on the SNES, but why does Paper Mario have it? Why do some of these third-party games that are already coming out have it? Paper Mario might make a little bit more sense, as 2024 is, that's all we have for the release date on this. We don't know when in 2024. That could come out later in the year. Maybe Switch 2 is already out by the time Paper Mario releases. But I don't think so. And so my question is why is Nintendo doing this so soon? If they're doing this, why would they do this a year in advance? Right now we're in the middle of November. If this doesn't really come out till next year November, why are they doing this for games now? Why are you future-proofing games that are going to be a year old by the time the system launches? It would make more sense to do for games that are launching maybe halfway through next year, maybe games coming out in March, April, May of starting next year. Then you start throwing in these colored buttons to kind of future-proof some of those games. But why are they doing it now? So that's kind of the first question that I have to ask myself, and that makes me think that we could potentially see this sooner, is why is Nintendo doing this now instead of later? If this is indeed the case that this Nintendo Switch 2 will have colored buttons. The next thing you have to look at is what Nintendo is doing this holiday season. If you look at any Black Friday ad, you're going to see Nintendo Switch bundles like crazy. And they're bundling some strange games in there, really. At this point, Nintendo has already confirmed that through some of their investor meetings and shareholder meetings that they are trying to sell people on their third and fourth Switch. Now, if you're going to bundle a Switch together with a game, why not bundle it with a game that maybe someone doesn't have yet? Entice them to purchase that next Switch. But no, we're getting some of the best-selling games bundled with these Nintendo Switches. We have a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Nintendo Switch, a Switch OLED bundle. We have a Animal Crossing New Horizons Switch Lite bundle. That game sold ridiculous. We have the ever so evergreen title Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on a Nintendo Switch bundle. It's a bundle that they've given us multiple times over the last 6 years or so of Nintendo Switch. So why are they doing this? Why are they bundling so many Nintendo Switches? Because they're trying to clear hardware. By clearing out their current hardware, they're making room in warehouses, they're making room in whatever else they need to do, clearing out parts, because they're going to be starting production on Nintendo Switch 2, and they got to make room for it. And by bundling some of these games, though, it seems like it's a strange thing to do. And it's because maybe they're waiting to hold out on some of these big releases because Switch 2 is coming out. And that's even the next thing we got to talk about, is look at Nintendo's lineup. What games have they announced coming out in the next 6 months or so? We have Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. We don't even know when that's coming out. That's just a 2024 game. We've got Luigi Mansion 2. That's another remake. We've got Princess Peach Showtime, which is the only brand new game that they have announced. So looking at that, and look at what we've just gotten. We've gotten Mario RPG for Nintendo Switch, another remake. Nintendo is kind of pulling back their cards. They're waiting to show us what they have in store. And I think that they're pulling back. If they were going to be showing this system off later in the year, and if it wasn't going to release till next year about this time, I don't know if they pull back so hard so soon. I think the way that Nintendo has handled their business, this is all speculation, but the way that they have handled their business, from seeing what we're seeing in games with these colored buttons, potentially future-proofing them against Nintendo Switch 2, we're seeing all these bundles coming out with trying to get rid of stock for this holiday season, it seems. And then their lineup of games that they have announced. Everything so far really is a remaster or remake, with the exception of Princess Peach Showtime. And why are they doing this? It's all because of Nintendo Switch 2. I think everybody knows this, but because of the actions they're taking now, I feel like this might be announced sooner than later. And as I said, I think we could potentially see a reveal sometime in January. I think that this announcement potentially could come before a February Nintendo Direct. Every Nintendo Switch console that they have revealed, the Switch itself, and then any iteration after there with the Switch Lite or the Switch OLED, they never actually dropped during a Nintendo Direct. They always had a solo drop with a trailer or announcement or reveal of some sort. And then they talked about it again at a future Direct. So why not drop this thing, reveal it at least, before the Switch or the Nintendo Direct in February, which will then give you time to talk a little bit more about it at the Direct and not have it be the big reveal. We'll just have it there and give fans and consumers the knowledge of when this game is, or when this system's coming out, what games are going to be there with it, and what we can expect. I think that the way Nintendo, as I said, is handling their business, I think we are going to see this much sooner than we could potentially have thought. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see this thing in January with an announcement for a release sometime in that, April, May, June slot. Don't put it past Nintendo to do that. I also wouldn't pat them past them, Nate, they hate, and other people like that. They have way more sources than I do. I have no sources, zero. This is all speculation. This is all just gut feeling about what I'm seeing Nintendo do. So maybe we should just listen to the pros. So maybe we really don't see this thing till next year in the fall time. I think, potential, that is potential. Nintendo's going to Nintendo at the end of the day. But from what I'm seeing and from what I'm hearing, I wouldn't be surprised to see this announced sooner than we think. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below. What do you guys think? When do you think we're going to see Nintendo Switch 2? Does any of this point to a Nintendo Switch 2 in your mind, or am I going crazy in the basement with the red string, trying to make connections that aren't there? So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this update. Like I said in the intro, thank you again so much. I really do appreciate it for all the support that you've given Nintendo over the last couple of years, and bigger and better things to come. So I hope you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, like this video on your way out. I really do appreciate it again. And until next time, catch you later.